Hey everyone, Christina here, Ginger Mama, with your September, excuse me, we're going to start off that way, September extended monthly Tarotscope for divine masculine Libra placements, okay? Sun, moon, rising, possibly your Venus. As I coughed right there, whoa, some of you might be really feeling compelled this month to speak your truth to yourself, to others, something like that. I didn't expect to start off like that, but hey, we're going to go with it. There's always a reason. Now, when I was channeling for you, it was interesting because I was having trouble. Like, okay, what do they need to know? And it's interesting because right before this, I was taking some trash out to my trash can and moving some recycling out and moved a few dishes into my sink. And I knew I needed to get going on this. And so I just left the items, where they belong in those bins. But it got me thinking, especially with Libra energy, sometimes we get in this state where we want everything to be perfect in our homes, in our appearance, whatever it might be. And I know Libras, like a lot of people, get kickback for that. And it can be really great to be organized. But the question becomes, how organized are we internally in our souls and our spirits? And also, remembering in our physical world that, like, for example, a trash can is a trash can. It's going to get messy. It's going to get dirty. You just throw the trash in. Like, you don't need to, overthink about it. It's like a sink, right? Like, yeah, we want our sinks to look beautiful, we have company over, whatever, but at times in our lives, we just throw the dishes in the sink because the sink is designed to hold those dishes, maybe for a few hours or a few days until we get around to cleaning the rest of that up. And so just asking yourself, am I focusing too much on my physical 3D reality being perfect, my appearance being perfect, my home being perfect, my image being perfect, and not looking within myself or others to ask, is my internal, order that tidy and clean and neat? So that's what was coming in. As for the astrology this month, it's wild, everybody. Buckle up. We are in Virgo season, which is earth sign placement. It's very grounded. It can be very organized, but also it is very intuitive. It's one of the most intuitive signs of the zodiac, actually. A lot of people fail to see that, but it is true. Virgo season is very intuitive. So maybe you're getting a lot of intuitive downloads, looking into your dreams, repeating numbers, signs, and synchronicities. All right, so we're kicking off the month here, like I said, in Virgo season. On the 5th, we have Venus going into Virgo. Venus is a planet of love, expansion, and Venus being in Virgo is also that idea of planning ahead, but intuitively asking yourself, am I happy in various connections, romantic connections, etc.? What I also find fascinating about the astrology of this month is on the 6th, right after that Venus in Virgo, we have the moon going into Aquarius. But here's the thing, on the 8th, so the moon stays in Aquarius, on the 8th, Aquarius is conjunct Saturn. So what's happening is collectively, we're being asked, how are we showing up? How are others showing up for us? Collectively, family, friends. Aquarian energy is all about the collective. It's all about asking ourselves, am I surrounded by the people I want to be surrounded with? Am I pulling back from people I should be connecting with? Or am I entertaining energies that are not aligned with my highest timeline, my highest frequency, my heart space, and things like that. Aquarian energy is wonderful, but because it's so collective, sometimes it can be held up in the ego of I want to look a certain way, just like that Libra energy, the appearance, right? That air sign energy of I want to come across logical and grounded and organized. But the question again becomes, are we logical, grounded, and organized within the context of the collective and ourselves? Are we looking past physical appearance to really ask what is on the inside of a person, what's on the inside of me? Do I allow others to get to that place, or do I constantly try to put on a show of who I am? And so I think a lot of the collective is going to be dealing with those deep thoughts on the 8th. And then as we hit the 9th, bam, retrograde begins. And I don't mean to freak anyone out. Those of you new to astrology, a lot of people talk high. Mercury retrograde is a big deal. Now, retrogrades can be really, really great. Please don't panic. but typically what they mean is communication can be misunderstood, stalled, or delayed. Travel plans, it can be difficult to travel. You might have hangups there. Technology problems, double check your documents, make sure you're saving them, make sure you're doing all those things in due time. Also why I want to get all these recorded as soon as possible before retrograde. And retrograde will be in Libra, so especially with the Libra placements here, everyone, it's going to hit you possibly harder. Retrograde is also a time where people from our past tend to gravitate back towards us in some way. And it's the universe testing you. And again, right out as we're coming off that Aquarius full moon and that conjunct Saturn, we're going to have this feeling of like, oh my goodness, okay, who do I want to go towards? Who do I not? Some people get hung up on retrogrades. I don't want to reach out to people during retrograde. Retrogrades are a test. Are you going to push away what's not meant for you? Are you going to bring in what is? And are you going to not let the term retrograde dictate what you do? Do you understand? If you know a trip is for you, if you know this or that is for you, definitely go forward. But if anything in you senses it's not, then pull back and reevaluate. So yeah, and then on the 10th, right after this retrograde starts, we hit the full moon in Pisces. And this is a big one, guys. I mean, I'm telling you, Pisces, highly intuitive as well. This water energy mixed with this Libra retrograde, and then we have just this Virgo energy. It just feels like a lot. It feels like a lot of people in this state, as we lead up to the 10th, you are going to feel completely forced to walk away from past beliefs, past behaviors. This can be past connections, past relationships, or past ideas about them. And you're really going to feel at this fork in the road. I need to make a decision. And you're going to know you need to make a decision. And I just feel like you're going to feel very, very uncomfortable, especially masculine energy. You're going to be like, I don't know which one. Why do I have to make a decision? Somebody make it for me. And the universe is like, no, you know what decision is best for you. You know what you need to do. And maybe you're like, no, I don't, Christina. Well, let's see what other cards come out, okay? But this is going to be the big buildup. Full moons are a time to release, okay? Number one thing you need to release. Anyone who's putting you in competition, in conflict, any drama, any relationship that is not completely what you want. Any situationship, any family dynamic, friends, anybody that's gossipy, drama, that you're just like, I don't feel 1,000% calm, comfortable, happy around this energy. It's gone, okay? It's gone. And now we have to be mindful of being too critical, right? There is always that sense of forgiveness and things like that. But many of you, I think, have spent this summer kind of like around a lot of people and you're feeling wounded. You might be feeling tired, weak, uncertain of yourself. And that is because you're refusing to make a decision to cut out energies you know do not serve you. And sometimes it is family, friends, lovers, and understand that they're just not at the place you are in your journey, okay? And so for now, if you can pull back and focus on your own healing work, you got to trust that these people that are meant to be in your life will come back into your life when the time is right. You've made it this far on your journey for a reason. You're being called upon for a reason, and you're going to continue to feel more wounded, weak, and depleted if you're not making clear decisions to push people out of your life. And one of the best ways you can do this too is to just simply tell someone, hey, I'm working on myself right now. I'm healing. I'm pulling back. Maybe you're going celibate for a period of time, whatever it is for you. Tell others, hey, I'm going to reach back out in a month or 2 months. Put a time frame on this. It is not fair to someone to just go ghost or to just not communicate that with someone. So family, friend, or lover, tell the truth. When are you coming back with what's going on? You know, this Knight of Cups is telling me that some of you are going to feel forced to walk away from others, maybe people you love, or to walk towards situations where you genuinely have feelings. So do that. Don't be afraid of that. Yeah, look at this. Again, that star coming out, like this idea of like you're wanting healing, you're wanting wishes fulfilled. The Aquarian energy, as we talked about leading up to that full moon, especially if you also hold Aquarian placements, this is gonna be a thing, okay? The first couple of weeks of September are gonna feel like, oh my God, I gotta make a decision. Knight of Pentacles reversed, the Five of Pentacles reversed. You know, there might have been someone you really pushed out of your life in the past, or you left behind, or you left them in the cold. You were like, no, they're not for me. You made a sporadic decision based on whatever information you had at the time. If you're feeling like that was the wrong decision, then again, it's about not doing that going forward. It's about healing that star there, telling the truth. Some of you, it appears, yeah, again, strength reversed. Like if you're feeling depleted, this is because the Magician here, you're thinking and feeling about like something, whether this is love or money or a relationship, something in your life, you keep thinking about it, you keep having emotions towards it, but you're not taking an action. When we do not take action, we feel weaker and weaker and weaker. It is the case. I've been under energetic attack numerous times. I assure you, the way out is always through action. And oftentimes people are like, I'm going to try to take every action except the action I know the universe is telling me to take. So pay attention to that. As we hit the 23rd and we're still in Mercury retrograde, we're going to be there the rest of the month, everyone. It will jump into Virgo. So anyone with more Libra placement energy like you're going to feel that retrograde pull to connect and reach out with certain people, possibly past lovers, relationship, to try to close out a cycle in some way, to try to bring some type of clarity. You're going to feel that from the 9th through the 23rd. If you have Virgo placements too, more Virgo placements, you might be feeling that the 23rd and on. But again, that uncomfortable energy is asking you to bring clarity. If a chapter was closed in your life and you just walked away, you didn't finalize anything, you didn't speak your truth, you didn't provide any end, right? Bookends. It's like you're just going to stay in this tower moment. Okay, this is what's going to happen. And for those of you that have divine counterparts, divine feminine energy, they have tried repeatedly to say, let's talk about this, let's discuss this. I don't understand what you're doing. And your stonewalling emotionally, your refusal to even say, hey, I need a month, I need 6 weeks, I'm going to reconnect, I'm going to follow up with you. That is what you're being judged on right now. And if you cannot this month do that, this is where you're going to sit. Tower moment after tower moment after tower moment. And I know this because it's feminine energy. The same thing occurred for us. When we didn't do the release, when we didn't tell you, hey, we want to talk, this is how I feel. When we refused to do that, it was tower moment after tower moment. It will not end. And you don't have to believe me. You can keep fighting the universe, but that is the truth. And so it is a form of dark magic to think about someone, to feel what it would be like with someone, but to not communicate with them in person, in 3D. So be mindful. That's what you're throwing to the universe, and the universe will return to you tower moments and weakened strength. So if you want out of that, you need to communicate in earnest your genuine truth here, all right? On the 25th, we have that new moon in Virgo. Again, by the way, the Four of Swords here reversed. This can be a sign that you think a relationship's totally done, it's never going to work. It could also be a sign that you're thinking about someone in a sexual way, or having sex with someone but thinking about someone else. Again, these are forms of dark magic. Understand something though. The Four of Swords reversed. Your belief that it is done should not matter about you speaking your truth. You won't know if it's really done until you communicate. This was the same with your feminines. They knew you had other lovers. They knew you were pulling away. They still had to speak their truth to you. They still had to do that, and they had to take the risk, and they had to have hope. The Empresses have had infinite hope. And so if you want any way back in, you need to stop thinking this is totally a lost cause. You can think that. You'll stay in that cycle of depression, anxiety, and tower moments. And the feminines had to do this too. And so this isn't a game. They're not trying to get you to admit weakness or anything like that. It's just, how do you really feel? Clearly, if you're thinking about someone, if you're feeling what it would be like, if you're missing someone, there's a reason, okay? There's a vibrational frequency there. And you can run all you want, but at some point, you're going to have to go forward with that. And you as Libras, you have that cardinal energy. You have that ability to really get the ball rolling, okay? And provide that balance, that truth, that justice, that like, this is what I want. So we're going to move on to some other cards, because Source had made it a point for me to use my chakra oracle deck. I think some of you really working on solar plexus, confidence. I've had right rib pain recently, and that's how I feel. Yeah, space reversed. It's like, I feel like you continue to want more space, and the universe keeps like putting you, no, you're not going to have more space and freedom until you can be honest about how you feel and tell someone else. That new moon in Virgo, again, getting very practical about how you feel. Speaking the truth. Protection reversed with caution. Yeah, it's like you're using so much caution right now, and you don't feel protected or secure within your own energy. And that's because you're not flowing with Source. The more you can flow with Source and do what Source is calling on you to do, the better you're going to feel in your energy, the more you're going to grow and evolve. We always have to grow and evolve. There is no other option. You cannot just stay stagnant. That doesn't work in anything. A tree doesn't just stop growing, right? Like grass doesn't just stop growing. We are constantly growing, evolving, and changing. And yes, it's very uncomfortable, but that is the entire purpose. And the quicker you can say, all right, I'm going to grow and evolve, I'm going to go with it, the better you're going to feel. The more you fight that, the more the universe is just going to push you. You're going to grow, you're going to evolve, you're going to speak your truth. So the 29th, Venus goes into Libra again, by the way. So Venus initially is in Virgo on the 5th, but by the end of the month, that 25th through the end of the month is going to be a great time for romance, for connection, for really telling people how you feel. But if you're more uncomfortable earlier in the month, I would get on it earlier because those full moons are nothing to be messed with. They are serious, and the more you're ascending, the more you're going to feel it. You might be feeling physically sick, vomiting, headaches, stomach pain, inability to eat. Those are all signs that you're fighting against something. You need to be moving towards it or removing it from your life. Look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. Try to look at the bigger picture. Stop getting hung up on these small details of the past and focus on the bigger picture. What was the lesson here? What was the spiritual lesson for me? What's the spiritual lesson for the collective, for my family, for any romantic connections? What have I learned? What has someone else learned? And what can I do with this going forward? So I love all of you. I hope this helps you. I'm happy to do personal readings if you go to gingermama.com. I also have wonderful blog content on the Twin Flame Journey, spiritual information. But I will see you back next month, and I wish you all the best. And have a wonderful month of September. How are we into September? I love this. Bye, Libras.